So it's a pleasure for us to be here this morning. This is a really hot topic. Startups for good. Solving the world's toughest problems with innovation. My name is Alan Leroy. I traveled from New York City to Dubai for this conference. My background is in consulting, strategy, and technology. I have a keynote later today actually speaking about this topic, which is what I call impact ventures, building and scaling profit with purpose. So this is I really was looking forward to being able to moderate this panel. We have a very highly esteemed group of people here today. 7 people, 45 minutes, including Q&A. So we're going to go through this pretty fast and also leave time for Q&A because I think it's important for everyone to kind of really be engaged. Now, can a startup be both profitable and purpose-driven? Founders are proving that innovation can drive both business success and meaningful change. At this summit, leaders will our panel will reveal how we will create scalable solutions to pressing challenges like sustainability and social impact. So that said, I'm going to just give everyone 1 minute to provide a brief introduction, and then we'll get into the Q&A. Sound good? Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Giving your own introduction is the most difficult thing on earth, I think, for most of us. But since we have been asked to do it, so I will have to briefly tell you about myself. My journey has been a little exceptional. It wasn't planned, as we listen most of the time in the rooms. It was always by default. I was living in a very comfortable zone, living in upper middle class society of India, never seen a girl with disability on wheelchair, very comfortable life. But I don't know why God kept pushing me and kicking me around. But things kept happening for good because I was very resilient. I did not give up. I embraced failures. And 26 years down the line, I have this help life, which became the cause and passion for my living rest of my life. It's a beautiful journey with 20 years of beautiful United Nations, exceptional jobs all over the world. I've lived in Sierra Leone, I lived in Uganda, I lived in Sudan, in Malawi, in Indonesia, all during conflicts, including Darfur's, and then retired from New York. You can imagine the diversity of my life. I'm sure nobody can plan it. It just happened. So I don't really want to give too much of introduction of myself. I'm a medical doctor. I'm a public health specialist, designer, programmer, author, and now a healer for all my girls with disability. So that's my introduction for now, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Should I stop for the introduction and then later on for the question, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. It's over to you.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Vajanti Shankar. I'm the founder and executive director for Center for Science of Student Learning. We work on the science of learning. So we are known for expertise and experience in building what we call as large-scale, psychometrically validated diagnostic assessments. And we work in the area of not only academic achievement, but social skills, emotional skills, future readiness, and so on. And the domain sectors are K-12, career readiness, or even talent acquisition. So these are the people who usually come to us for our assessments. Clients are, it could be large national governments or state governments, or multilaterals like the World Bank or UNICEF, and also, corporates and school groups. Whoever is doing an education intervention comes to us to understand the impact, diagnose, and so on, what is the issue, and so on. And so far we might have covered about 16 countries, about 12 million students, 130,000 adults, and so 30 plus partners. So that is what we are.
Good morning. Mfon is my name. I'm a software engineer. I'm the founder of ELD. At ELD, we use precision agriculture to help farmers grow smarter and scale food security.
Hi everyone, my name is Vaibhav. I'm from India. I'm the founder and CEO of SETV. At least that's what they call me because they use me for everything that's there in the company. And we work in healthcare, artificial intelligence, something that you have heard throughout the day, AI, so let me keep that word aside. We help medical professionals as well as medical institutions make guided decisions. So if you want to know more about us, I would just say how Palantir work for defense, we work for healthcare. So yeah.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Nicola Middleton. I'm founder and president of a company called God Brands, and we share messages to humanity to help humanity evolve and go higher. I'm also the managing director of Nicola Brands, which is me in, I think it's 6 brands now, to show the multifaceted nature of our humanity. We've been very linear, and it's time to become holistic. And I'm also a founding trustee of the Love Wins Foundation. My life mission is change the world, love wins. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So just to quickly summarize, very cross-sector perspective on stage. We talked healthcare, AI, agriculture, education, social enterprise, venture philanthropy. So our first question is, what role does innovation play in solving the toughest global challenges in your sector? And I'll ask Dr. Nicola to answer that one.
Thank you. I really, really love the topic of innovation and connecting it to problem solving. I love being a business person because I just see business as a can-do tool. So we do have problems. I don't like to use the word problems. I like to say challenges and opportunities because it's just a positive spin. And why not make it positive? So we have to have innovation. We have to. And we are creative beings. I say that we are made by the Creator in His image. He created and we create. And that's what innovation is. It is applying new thinking, new ideas, new inspiration, new technology, lots of new things. There's always new arriving. And we take that, we see a problem, a challenge, an opportunity, and we solve it, we fix it, we get rid of it. And then we're going to get a new problem at a higher level. Thank you.
Awesome. So keeping on that theme of innovation, I'm going to ask Mufan, how has innovation personally helped your startup?
Okay, for us, innovation has always been the engine of growth. And without innovation, you should know that solutions stay small and local. So for us at ELD, we use precision agriculture, bringing in remote sensing, IoT, to monitor crops and soil, and this help farmers improve their production. So the same solution is used by government to make decisions. So one solution scaled through the entire ecosystem.
That's amazing. And Sankar, could you answer that as well?
So let me talk about the toughest problem and how innovation is helping it. So when it comes to education across the world, you're aware of the Millennium Development Goals and the Sustainable Development Goals and all of that. The toughest problem has been, how do we provide universal quality education? So that is what we started with. And so we built, from our expertise, we said that can we build diagnostic assessments, which gives you a full-fledged, blueprint of what is happening in terms of the quality of learning so that people can remedy. So we work with governments, we work with intervention players, and that's how we started. But in 2015, when we started an organization, the Sustainable Development Goals came in, and they spoke about not only quality education in terms of literacy, numeracy, but also creativity, higher order thinking, and also interpersonal social skills. Very soon we saw in our environment that we were working, people in schools and colleges, etc., they started saying, oh, we are teaching social emotional skills and so on. But what we realized is that there's no definition of what these social skills are and what are these emotional skills. And very soon if you teach something, you are going to measure it. So for example, how do you measure? People may say that I'm teaching empathy, but how do you measure empathy? I may be empathetic in the morning, but as the day goes by, I am not empathetic. I may be empathetic to your young child, but not to your old person, So it's a very moving thing. So therefore, how do you define, how do you construct these things so that you can measure accurately what these people have? So that's where we got into a large study where we conducted and looked at attitudes, values, empathy, social emotional skills, and so on. Then we came to a juncture 5 years back that, innovation is speeding up. The world every day is changing. So in education, how do I teach a child now that 10 years from now, he's going to be useful or relevant, And then we started looking into joining about 18 plus partners. We created a life skill collaborative, and along with them, as an assessment partner, we decided, okay, these are the future ready skills, like for example, aspects of thinking skills, relationship skills, or leadership skills, and so on. And then how do you measure that? So the other partners were doing the interventions. We ended up figuring out how to measure. Again, measurement is very, very difficult. For example, if I ask somebody as a leader, as founders, do you always take the initiative? You're going to say, of course, yes. But sometimes you may, sometimes you may not. But how do I measure it in a way that you would not be able to guess the answer or give me a socially desirable answer? So that is again innovation, new methods, and new techniques. Now the challenges that we are looking at is that now AI, ChatGPT, and various things have come in. Now people are outsourcing even thinking. So how do you ensure that the humans retain thinking and metacognition, and something which is very, very unique to humans, the ability to care and have compassion, that is, have the cognitive ability to understand another person's mental state. So how do you cultivate and ensure that these don't get, eroded, or these are the areas that we are working on. So innovation has always been the step which has helped us expand or grow. Thank you.
Thank you. And before we leave that theme, I want to ask Ram, what about technology? What technology model or mindset will shape the future of impact?
Maybe I can answer with trying to debunk some myths over here. First, the term innovation is right now very misused. A lot of people use the term innovation to satisfy their ego on the failures that have taken place out there, while telling I had tried different things, it didn't work, but I have learned something new. It doesn't work that way. And the second thing is, any particular thing that we build, and because we are in social enterprise, or any particular thing that we build, it is very important that technology needs to have some meaning. I have built an artificial intelligence, it is doing that, it is doing this, that guy is earning $1 billion, I'm not earning anything else, what is happening around me? It's basically, it needs to have a meaning. So when you ask me how technology is supposed to be taken as a perspective of this, I would say purposeful, lean, strategic, disciplined, and growing with the need. It's basically, you're supposed to just try to see anything that happens around anything you want to build is about solving a problem. Simple. You don't create problems and then solve them. That's what 99% of the people do. So you just try to solve the need, and whatever technology is needed for that, you can do. Today it's called AI, tomorrow it will be called AGI, the next day it will be called SI, the next day it will be called Web3, the next day it will be called something else. Let people use the jargons. We are businesses, we need to mint the money, we need to give the impact. So technology is simply satisfying the need. So yeah.
Thanks. And let's talk about profitability. Mufan, can a startup be both profitable and purpose-driven?
In my own opinion, yes. When you're solving real problem, you're creating value. And that value drives profit. Yeah, and that's exactly like for us at ELD in our case, we are helping farmers to improve their income. And certainly that translates to making our business profitable. Yes.
And what have been some of the challenges to that?
Okay, the challenges could be like when we started, farmers don't really like technology, but we're able to have a way around. And what we do was to give them input, support them with inputs, and use the technology, to help them scale. Yeah.
Okay. So this is a good question I'm going to ask Dr. Neelam. What is a myth about purpose-driven entrepreneurship that needs to be debunked?
Wow. It's a difficult question, not a good question. But anyway, the biggest myth is that, there are, in India, at least there are 50 million people suffering from disability. We don't even have the real data. And we all think that they cannot do anything. They don't get jobs. The perception that we have about people with disability is so fixed and stigmatized, people around them, not the person with disability, that they are living a life worse than an animal also. Sad to say, talking about poverty and disability and other diseases on top of that. So the biggest myth that I want to debunk today on this stage is that they are better than us if provided with the enabling environment that each one of us got. We got the opportunities, whether we got them by default or we planned. But there are people left behind who have not been able to get these opportunities. So this is the idea I want to debunk today, and this myth must vanish. I have 200 plus stories from zero to hero of girls with disability who never had wheelchair, who were never healed, who were 20 years sitting at home, caged, parents even neglecting them, are the heroes, are running my organization today. So I have enough evidence to debunk, to get rid of this myth. Please embrace them, give them the environment. Even if one person with disability, you can touch the heart of that person, you've done your job in this life. That's what I would say. So thank you. Is that the right answer?
It's always the right answer. And I'm going to ask God Brands. That's a powerful name. When I saw that, I thought you misspelled, I thought you forgot an O. And I said, no, it's actually God Brands. That's a very powerful brand. And I'm going to ask you a question. How can founders stay true to their mission while growing a financially strong company?
I actually asked to be asked that question, and I'm going to give a founder's answer. Thank you, by the way, for the compliment on the name. I didn't come up with it. I'm walking in obedience. God, the creator, however we know him, the universe, source, higher power, everyone's on their own journey, gave it to me and said, that's the name of the company. And I'm kind of like, yes, sir. And then I put it into the world, so this is just a quick side story, and I was like, what are people going to think? Like, am I being forward? Do I have a right to do this? I have to say, I think Facebook won't even accept it. The other social media does, but it's like, no, you can't have your name. I'm like, I do have my name, it's registered. So anyway, that's some of our problem solving is, because obviously it can cause conflict, but it's actually supposed to cause love, which is the heart of all of my messages. Anyways, your question about how can you stay true to your mission and grow a financially successful company. As a founder, as a visionary, I am seeing, so I'm going to talk about it for myself, I'm seeing, I've been given vision about what needs to come to earth. Okay, that's what vision is. And in the good word, it says, write the vision, make it plain, run with it. Though it tarries, wait for it, for it will surely come to pass at the appointed time. This is a thing of faith. So I, as a founder in the business world with a company, I know how business rolls. I mean, I've got a financial background, merchant banking, serial entrepreneur. It's like make money. If you don't make money, you're not running a business. Here's the catch. So this is how I'm going to share it, is God is re-architecturing, there's new architecture, new masterminding coming to the business world. If I want to make money today, I cannot be God's instrument for this work that I'm doing. So I've had to learn that if God wants a thing on this earth, Allah, the Creator, Yahweh, I just want to respect everybody here so that we don't get caught up on the God word, but please honor my space as well. He needs people who are willing to have long-term vision. And so I've had to understand that God will bring the money into my business. and I do have it. I mean, loans and investments and things. I think other companies like Uber and Airbnb, you know, start small, and everything isn't an overnight success. Sometimes my first company that I started was an overnight success. I mean, I was a millionaire in a couple of months. So, you know, that also can happen. But with this particular vision, because it is about solving the world's toughest problems, it takes a bit longer. And the challenge that we're working with is it's messages, it's branding to humanity, but we're really going into the human spirit, the human psyche, and picking us up from, I want to say, humanity 1.0 and taking us to humanity 2.0, or humanity infinity. I mean, this is just a starting note as far as I'm concerned, and all the generations to come can take this ball and go higher with it. But in the business plan and in the business vision that I'm carrying, it is huge profitability that sits in my vision, because I understand the seed I'm holding. But in the short term, I've had to personally invest some more, and do it by faith. But because I'm willing to invest, and because I'm willing to walk that walk, knowing that all around me it's all about revenue, profitability, and it's like, yes, it's coming. I have to build the pipeline before the water can flow like that. So in a founders conference, the way I want to answer this is, you've got to do your mission. You've got to do your vision, because if you walk off that, you have nothing. So if you want to have gratification today, if you want a great balance sheet or income statement today, that's fine. If that's the business you're holding, go for it. If it's not the business you're holding, which is not the business that I'm holding serving humanity and taking as long as it takes and dedicating my life to it, then the finances will come. They will come in loans, they will come in investments, they will come in profitability, they will come in whatever way, and they will come at the appointed time, and you have to believe it. Thank you.
Thank you for that. That reminds me of a slogan that I say a lot is, you don't need money, money needs your ideas. And I think that is exactly what you just explained. There's an element of almost spirituality, but also you have to focus on your ideas. Because if you require resources from anybody, they're going to want to know that you're the person to bet on to solve a problem that they could connect with. So you have to focus on your ideas. Sometimes people just chase the capital raising, and when I ask you, what problem are you solving? They can't even answer it. So I think it's really important to focus on the idea, and have a growth mindset and positive mindset. And before you know it, you'll be at one of these conferences on stage on a panel. So let me ask the next question. Back to challenges. What are some major challenges that you have faced, and how did innovation help to solve it? I'll pass the mic to Ryan.
Thank you. But before answering this question, I have to tell something to Nicola. I didn't know that you're so wealthy. I would have asked you a check before for investing in a startup of mine. So, yeah, thanks for that. That's good. Okay. So, when we say about challenges and how it goes about, innovation doesn't only talk about technology but other things around. And I would say, with respect to solving the challenges in my company, the first thing is kill the God complex. So when you're in healthcare, right, I want to solve everything. I want to save everyone. I want to become the guy that they're going to come and they'll be like, oh, you saved my life, I'm really happy for it. That's not going to work, because there are a lot of things and a lot of complications. And we have to focus on one set place that I will start from here, and then slowly, maybe I will grow. And the second thing is, major inspiration is from my mom. She's a housewife. She's not that much educated, so a lot of people talk a lot behind her back. I don't really care. But whenever I have any major business challenges, right, it's basically home science is the best science, okay? I think all the women over here will agree. Home science is the best science. I just listen to my mom. She doesn't, understand that much of business, but she'll be like, why don't you just do this and do that? And then the thing gets solved. Like, one of the biggest challenges at one time we had was, so in AI you have something called as GPUs, and then you use GPUs to run a model and try to get something as a good output. And we didn't have that much resource, and I was not going to ask my father for it. So I went to my mom and I was just sitting, I was very dull and I was like, what do I do? Because without GPU, my company won't run. It won't run at all. So she was like, why don't you try renting a GPU for some time, and the moment someone stops using it, just shut down your application and keep it, and the moment someone opens it, again try to, make it run time to time so that you can go with the least price. And I was just looking at her, I was like, what just happened? It's like, I didn't expect her to give an answer like that. And she told, it's just like changing my gas cylinders at home. So in the same way, I have seen people bleeding a lot of money, which is very unnecessary. If you have got a lot of money, invest in Setvi though. But apart from that, I would say for every single problem that we have got, it was the most simplest answers. Like founders usually go on an overdrive of thoughts. I will do this, I will do that. If this happens, this will happen. If this happens, this will happen. You never know. You just got to first take a plunge into it and then see what's going to happen. So the biggest challenges I faced with respect to my mind and with respect to the way of simplicity that the business could be run with, except that I really didn't face that much challenges because I have got a good team.
Thank you. And Dr. Neelam, would you like to respond as well to that?
About the challenges?
Yes.
First of all, there are no challenges in my life. I'm too positive a person to be liked. Practiced appreciative inquiry for 16 years, 15 years with the UNICEF. That's the skill I got from there, and I practiced, and I know many people did not practice. But the tools that we get in these organizations, if we tend to really practice them, mostly we won't see challenges, we would see opportunities. So as I said that girls with disability, I had never seen them, and when somebody said that this is a challenge and we must address it, and you are being an obstetrician and also a public health specialist, why won't you take this up? So I took this challenge, and the first hurdle, and when you can use the word challenge for partner, right, my husband, he said, oh, so you want to keep adolescent girls and girls with disability, so you're taking the responsibility of these girls. What if this happens and that happens? So that was the first challenge in the house. And then the challenge for my children, my 2 grown-up sons said, oh, so you will carry this girl with disability with you to the donors and ask for money? It would be a shameful thing to do. You cannot do that. So many challenges at home, and then challenges with the parents of the girls, then challenges with the stakeholders, challenges with the policymakers, challenges with so many people around you who have so many notions about people with disability. So if I had counted the challenges, I wouldn't have come through this tunnel that had at the end of the day, but I just took all these as opportunities. The first internship program that I started with girls with disability, I studied for 15 years. 15 years longitudinal study on 50 girls in my own place without any warden, empowered them, studied them. I know disability in and out now. And this is not about their problem. It's problem in us and all the founders here, that minute we see a person with disability, we try to, have an opinion, and obviously cannot perform like other people. But that's the myth that I want to break today. Please embrace people with disability. So what I've done after COVID came, which was the biggest disruptor, people are talking about innovation as disruptors. No, the biggest disruptor was COVID. And that's the best thing that has happened to this world, okay? I redesigned my program. I was very comfortable with running this program of girls with disability, getting them higher education, getting them good jobs, placements, but they left their parents at home dying with COVID. So that really shocked me and moved me out of my comfort zone. So I redesigned the whole program. So the program that I have now is a very innovative, sustainable livelihood program for girls with disability. So this is an integrated, comprehensive minimum package that runs with mental health, physical health, social health, and lastly, financial health. Let us not put finances as number one. As my other panelist, Nicole, said, money is not going to bring anything. It's not going to multiply. Life is not transactional. So if people tell me what have I earned, because I never practiced as a medical doctor, I've earned so many souls, so many good human beings, so many things that I have got in this world that I really don't need any platform. But I came here just because people told me you have to voice, you have to tell, you have so many stories to tell people that unless you treat the emotional health, unless you treat the traumas of people they have gone through, you cannot skill anyone. And this applies to everybody. sitting on this platform, we all have disabilities. Somebody is having mental disability, somebody is having some personality disorder disability, somebody has disability that he doesn't know. So let us not disgrace this word disability. So I really don't know how to really answer this question. I'm saying embrace the model. We are collecting now data for 6 months, going to the government of India and many other governments to embrace that model. Don't give them pensions. Teach those people. Give them the opportunities to learn than any other person. We have embraced the technology. All the girls with disability are using computers in their local language. Has anybody heard about it? All the girls are doing yoga and wellness online. Has anybody heard about it? I have number of innovations and number of innovative programs all over the world, even when I was with the United Nations. But now I am doing it on my own, through my own platforms. One is Help Life Global in New York, and second is in India, 26-year-old Help Life. So I don't think there are any challenges, but there is only a lot of love stories, and a lot of our panel is bringing a lot of love and energy in the room, right? Isn't that great? Thank you. Thank you.
Maybe I'll just add one point over there. I was actually thinking about it for a while when you were speaking. You're making the journey of girls from disability to beautiful ability, right? That's the journey that's happening over there, so that's great.
I like this beautiful. I never used that word before. Thank you. Thank you for that.
So one thing I just recognize, I think, in a lot of the responses here, the theme of this is solving the world's toughest problems with innovation. It seems like a big source of that innovation comes from within. If you get that, it takes a strong character, personality, level of confidence to seek out to create a business in this world that is seeking to make a profit with purpose. It's not easy. So a big part of that innovation is coming from within. And I'll ask our last question, and then we'll have opportunity for Q&A to Sankar. What does scaling impact look like in your sector, and what capabilities are needed?
Yeah. There was talk of innovation, there was talk of money and no money, etc. I would say that as a founder, you have already founded something. That means it's based on certain ideas and certain goals and missions that you want to solve. So basically, you've taken up a problem to solve. However, to scale, the definite thing is you need capital or you need funding, right? Now, if you look at an education sector, at least in the countries in which I work in, there are only two types of models that exist. One is that you go totally non-profit, raise philanthropic money, and make everything and anything free service sort of a thing. The second model is that go the VC way, venture capital, and then you raise series of fundings, and then you will find that most companies I know in education which went the VC route, very few, I don't even know or name one or two which reached the IPO stage, getting into the positive cash flow state, etc. But then there is a third model, companies like us, we follow. So we are hybrids. We have a foundation arm and we also have a business arm. So the foundation arm tries to get the philanthropic grants because research and innovation, as far as I know in education, research and innovation is never funded. If you go and say that you're going to teach somebody something in a school and make them learn something, you will get funded. But if you say that, no, I want to research, I want to figure out how to measure this, I want to figure out how to build this program to teach something, etc., you don't get funded. So you need philanthropic money. You also need a business arm because constantly you cannot be looking for dollars because you have to become sustainable at some point or the other. So then what is that we need? We need organizations or for funders who are looking at something like what is called social good. And again, when you come to social good, we have been constantly struggling with that word, social good, because education itself is a social good. You are trying to improve learning outcomes on various fronts. It's a social good. You are trying to give somebody a skill set in social skills or emotional skills or values or attitudes or academic achievement. It's a social good. But when you say that as an organization, you build something, but you put out all that IP for free and so that constantly somebody walks away with the research and it becomes irrelevant and you will never reach sustainability. That is not social good. Social good would mean funders and philanthropic organizations needs to understand, how do I help this organization solve a social problem? How do I support them with funding? And not only funding, mentorship, markets, distribution channels. How do I give all those supports? As founders, most of us are always lonely. The previous session was talking about that. So how do you support all those things, strengthen the founder to ensure that the social good is achieved by helping them serve a social cause? And these are the things that are the needs in the education in any company you start.
It's amazing. So I have another a term for that. I'm going to test it on you.
Yeah.
Venture philanthropy.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah.
I wrote a book about it.
Okay, lovely.
I just sold a book at the panel, but I'm giving a talk about that in
Yes.
30 minutes.
Okay.
You have to go upstairs to the CXO main stage.
Yeah.
Venture philanthropy blueprint.
Yeah.
And I think what you're saying is exactly part of the solution. Is
Sure.
Traditional venture capital isn't designed for a social enterprise or social impact organization. Philanthropy could be okay in the beginning, but it's not going to allow you to create a sustainable business.
Yes.
So what do? Something in the middle. So these two words combined together.
Yeah, I'll be
Venture
there for the
philanthropy.
session.
Awesome, thank
Yeah.
you. So I'm going to ask everyone to give a closing statement, and then we'll have time for Q&A. So thank you. Would you like to begin?
Okay, so the closing statement for me is more like call to action. I want everybody to join hands, especially the young people who are the future of this world, to come together and mainstream disability. That's the closing statement for me. Thank you.
Yeah, support innovation. So if organizations and individuals forget innovation, because problems keep coming up, new problems, new challenges, etc. If you don't support innovation, we will be at a stage where we will not be able to handle the challenge.
Thank you.
I want to ask, how many are in agricultural sector?
Agriculture.
Okay, agriculture. Okay, I think the world needs us more now. United Union says the world population will be growing more than 10 billion in few years, and we need to produce more food, 70% more. So we need guys, we just need to collaborate and try to do that and save global food security. Thank you.
Maybe I'll just put in some points, okay, like around 4 to 5 points. I'm not sure about the count though. I'll give it a try. So the first point, simple things first. The second point is going to be fastest approach is the wrong approach. Third thing, don't follow the trend, try to make the trend. Fourth thing, never listen to someone who hasn't done what you are going to do. And the fifth thing is that just stay calm, have something as a hobby for yourself, explore it well, do well, have something called as good work-life balance. I'm not saying just work for 5-6 hours and then take rest. You have your own narrative for that. I'm not going to go there. And then the last point is never assume anything that is around you. You want to know what is happening, just get in there. You get beaten up, get beaten up. But when you come back, you know that you're not going to get in there because you're going to get beaten up. So stop assuming and everything else will go good. And best of luck to all of you.
Thank you. I think what I want to say is, I've been at the CXO conference last year, and it was in marketing, and now I'm actually registered for, not the 2.0 conferences. I went to marketing, now CXO, and I'm in founders because I'm on a couple of panels here. And, the energy and the spirit of each of the rooms is different because obviously we focused on different things. And this to me is a very special room. So I want to hold up a mirror. We're all founders or want to be founders or have been founders, but we're being drawn to that. You're carrying something incredibly special inside of you. And yes, it's lonely, not everyone. It's not like we're in a classroom and the teacher says, well done, or the parent or the whatever. It's kind of like we have to do that for ourselves. We're grown-ups. We're the adults on the planet. So this is a special room. This is a special group of people, and this is a very special time on the earth. I definitely want to talk to you about it, this venture philanthropy. We need to put new ideas together or old ideas together in new ways. Because we, to me, in business and founders, entrepreneurs, pioneers, initiators, whatever words you want to use, we're taking this world. We actually have this world in our hands. That's so exciting. We have it in our hands. It's us. It's not like the government, the parents. It's like, oh, we're the parents, the adults. Oh, we're the adults. It's us. And so I just want to do one thing, is I do have an anointing from God, and I just want to release into this room and into all the founders on the earth your superhero anointing, because we are superheroes. I'm into pop culture. I'm into Disneyland and movies and kids stuff, because we are all children at heart. But the person you're looking for is inside of you. It's what you said as well. It's not about profitability. It can be about the idea, and they're in us. And when it's hard, who carries on with the idea? Who won't let the idea die? It's us. That's my closing statement. Thank you.
Thank you. So thanks, everyone. We're going to open this up for Q&A. My last thing I'll just say is just echoing what I just said, which is you don't need money, money needs your ideas. So if you have a burning passion, if you're roaming this earth because you want to solve this problem, and it's probably a very personal reason why you want to solve that problem, something happened to you, you have a growth mindset, and you're seeking to not let that happen to anybody else, focus on the idea. Focus on the idea, the resources will get there. Focus on the idea. So is there a microphone? Does anybody have any questions?
Good morning, everyone. I have a question. I have an association that hosts over 17 girls in full-time residential programs. So many of whom come from emotionally complex background. So my question is, what innovative solution would you suggest to help address their emotional needs? Because I don't know how can I help more, because I didn't understand many things about emotional health. So if you can give me one advance about it, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Is the question to whom?
I'll say one thing, and then I'll let.
Okay.
I'm a big advocate for technology. I started my career as a software engineer a long time ago when the internet first came out. So I think that what's a challenge for, I think, social impact ventures is to understand how to be scalable. It may be a very human-to-human thing, but you have to understand that if I have to be in the room to deliver my solution, that's limiting. So is there a way to create a solution, maybe using technology, that allows your voice, your insight, and your perspective to reach not just one room, but a country, a globe? And you could do that with technology. And especially when you're dealing with changing human behavior, you have to be in touch with these people very frequently. It probably is going to happen on their phone. So I think these are some things that I would start to think about, how to productize your solution in a way. First, get it to the point where it's validated. You have enough feedback from customers that, oh, wow, I think I'm onto something. Now let me see how I could reach not just 100 people, but 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. So that's my take. Can somebody else?
Yeah, sure. So the sustainable business model for livelihood for girls with disability that I've created, one of the component is addressing your question, is the mental health. And nowadays we know we are talking a lot about yoga, wellness, so spiritual health is there, a part of mental health also currently, but will be separate very soon. So the point here is that if I start telling you that everybody is an institution in itself, like all of us here, founders, everybody is very, very unique. Not only on this forum, but everybody in the hall is very unique, right? Our needs, our emotions change every minute. Our thoughts change every minute, right? So what do you want to do with these 50 girls or 70 girls or 100 girls? It's not going to happen with one blanket approach, right? That's generally what we follow. So what you need to do is you have to make individual assessments. We do have the assessment tools. You can get in touch with me and I can guide you. So we have assessment tools. You assess these people before and after, and they should do their own assessment. And they'll be online with you. So that's what we do. They're all online with you. You have to have a rigorous follow-up online. We have great technology tools. We also have AI now that we can integrate into our programs. So it is much, much easier now than it was in earlier days that we had to have one-on-one conversations. So I think treating mental health has become much easier now if we take that commitment that we are going to do it. You need that commitment and perseverance. Everything can be done. And then after they do the small task and the changes that they see, then they will have another assessment by themselves that, oh, so these are the changes they made. So that empowers them and heals them. It's very simple. It's not that difficult as it looks, okay? So rather than sending them to the counselors and others, you teach them how to heal themselves in their mental health, okay? So that's my small cent in this conversation. Thank you.
I would like to add to what Neelam said. So when we do a lot of measurements on emotional learning, emotional intelligence. So emotions are basically learnable. Think of it as a skill. Okay, it's not like a personality trait which you're born with. And when you look at emotions are the ones which gives you the energy to pursue any rational idea, right? And you can actually break it out into what we call as emotional concept attainment and then emotional regulation. So when you say emotional concept attainment, it is basically about having the awareness of, what we call as, do you understand what are the emotions that you are undergoing? Do you understand what are the emotions the other person is undergoing? And here also we sort of break it into two things, what we call as affect and emotion. So what do you mean by affect? Affect is how good or bad you feel. But emotion may be, for example, when we tested children, there are many children even in the top private schools in our country, where if you give them a particular context, they will be able to say whether they felt angry or sad or happy. But if you ask them, did you feel good or bad about it? They are unable to say. So that is what we call as affect. Affect is the first and foremost thing. So many of us as founders, that rationally you will know certain decisions, but your mind is telling you that is the path to go, but then you sleep over it and the next morning you get up and say, oh, I don't think I want to go ahead with this, right? Rationality will tell you, no, you should go with that. But something in you says that, no, you would not go with that. And that is the affect part. So therefore, learning how to understand and listen to that affect in yourself and recognizing that in the others. So these are what you call as emotional concept attainment. So there are specific ways in which these skills could be taught and measured. And similarly then when you look at emotional regulation, we again would have something called as a behavior regulation and an affect regulation. So behavior regulation is like, for example, when you're angry, you have all often been taught, no, take a deep breath, drink a glass of water, go take a walk and come back. And you will do all of those things and you will get through the meeting. But are you stopping feeling angry? So that is the affect. So the affect is that I may learn a behavior to understand because I know what the consequences are going to be. But internally I am not able to give up that anger. And the more you hold on to what we call as these negative aspects of emotions, they are the ones which affect you, your health, your motivation, and various other things. So learning all these things, whether it's emotional regulation or emotional concept attainment, these are learnable skills, and these are very, very solvable. All you need is to have a scientific approach and a scientific measurement which gives you feedback so that you're able to intervene and so on.
Okay. Thank you. I think we're good? Time? All right. Thanks, everyone, again. This was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.